Science, Chapter 10, Segment 1. The visual system extends from the eye to the brain. The vertebrae eye acts in some ways like a camera. The cornea is the transparent outer layer of the eye whose curvature is fixed. It bends light rays and is primarily responsible for forming the image of the retina. The lens is the structure in the eye that helps focus an image on the retina. Refraction is the bending of light rays by a change in the density of a medium, such as the cornea and the lens of the eye. The ciliary muscle is one of the muscles that controls the shape of the lens inside the eye, focusing an image on the retina. Accommodation is a process of focusing by the ciliary muscles in the lens to form sharp images on the retina. The pupil is the aperture formed by the iris that allows light to enter the eye. The iris is the circular structure of the eye that provides an opening to form the pupil. And the extraocular muscle is one of the muscles attached to the eyeball that controls its position and movements. Visual processing begins in the retina. The receptor cells that detect light are called photoreceptors. The two kinds are rods and cones. Rods are a class of light-sensitive receptor cells in the retina that are most active at low levels of light, and cones are responsible for color vision. The scotopic system is formed by rods and operates at low levels of light, and the photopic system operates at high levels of light, shows sensitivity to color, and involves the cones. The rods and cones converge with bipolar cells that connect to the ganglion cells, which form the fibers of the optic nerve. Bipolar cells are the interneurons of the retina that receive information from rods and cones and pass that information to the ganglion cells. The optic nerve is the second cranial nerve and is the collection of ganglion cell axons that extend from the retina to the optic chiasm. The horizontal and amacrine cells are especially significant in lateral interactions with the retina. The horizontal cells are specialized retinal neurons that conduct both the receptor cells and the bipolar cells. And the amacrine cells contact both their bipolar cells and ganglion cells and are especially significant in inhibitory interactions within the retina. Photoreceptors also transduce light into chemical reactions. So light changes the retinal shape, deforming the rhodopsin to activate molecules of the G protein. This causes the GTP molecule to replace the GDP molecule bound to transducin. Rhodopsin is the photopigment in rods that responds to light, and opsin is one of the two components of photopigments in the retina. The retinal is the abbreviation for retinaldehyde, which is one of the two components of photopigments in the retina. It can also be called vitamin A aldehyde. The activated transducers activate PDE molecules, and then each PDE molecule hydrolysis molecules of cGMP, which reduces its concentration. The reduction in cGMP leads to closure of sodium channels and hyperpolarization of the receptor. One photon of light can block the entry of more than 1 million sodium molecules. The cascade of processes required to stimulate the visual receptors helps account for the three characteristics of the visual system. One is that its sensitivity, because of weak stimuli, are amplified to produce physiological effects. Secondly, the integration of the stimulus over time, which makes vision relatively slow but increases its sensitivity. And third, the adaptation of the visual system to a wide range of light intensities, which includes adjusting the size of the pupil, range fractionization, and adaptation. And finally, acuity is best in foveal vision. So the visual field is a whole area that you can see without moving your head or eyes, and visual acuity is the sharpness of vision. The fovea is the central portion of the retina, which is packed with the most photoreceptors, and therefore is the center of our gaze. The optic disc is the region of the retina devoid of the receptor cells because of ganglion cell axons and blood vessels exit the eyeball there. The blind spot is the portion of the visual field from which light falls on the optic disc. And saccades are fast movements in the eyes that present various parts of the visual scene to the fovea.